Hi mate, in this video I will share with you information that would help you to work out why you have a burnout. It's a number 2 of key reason why you have emotional burnout as a developer. If you feel yourself sad, starting having first symptoms of emotional burnout as a developer, check my link in description, contact with me and I will solve your problem. And we will start this video. Today we would speak about grabbing a lot of responsibilities on yourself as a developer. What I mean by this, if you work on a project as a software developer, you need to communicate with a lot of people. For example, manager, designer, junior developer, senior developer, managers, leads, and other people. And sometimes response from these people could take some time. So in your interested to start making everything by your own and not waiting from answer from somebody. But also here is the line where you could start doing all tasks of yourself. For example, imagine that you have non-technical manager and he is starting some technical stuff. You started to have calls one-on-ones to discuss this issue, how it's better to be done. And you just think, okay, I would help him for this case. And then it's happened again and again and again. And after a few times, you were doing all technical tasks, but from manager's perspective that he should do. This happens regularly. It's more visible from lead role when you're starting to communicate with C-level managers and they're starting to give you their work for you because you know technical side better. But instead not doing only technical side, you manage meeting notes, dev notes, making some presentation, making some calls that manager should do for C-level. You started managing everything, notes, meetings for C-level, meetings for managers. You start explaining a lot of details that non-technical people shouldn't know, but they think that you would the best people who would explain it to them. It could sound cool, but here is a line where you're doing your work and you started doing work on other people. Because when you start in this process, it looks cool and very happy for you because you're starting something new, you explore. But at the same time, you stop doing your work. Because, for example, as lead, you work to lead a team, check code reviews. You need to understand technical direction. You need to manage your team, understand the direction the team is going under, understand some project features, some technical tasks that should be done. When you starting to do a work, you have some responsibilities. This is like core responsibility. And sometimes, like this example with manager, people could often forward their jobs to you. And if you starting to accepting it would be interesting for you as a new experience, and also you could start doing another people's job. In the same time that people wanted from you have your job done efficiently. And if you would agree on this, they would get used to it. And when you would start in your job inefficient, they would ping you and say, why are you inefficient? Why are your jobs done so bad? And then you would explain, because I do a lot of things, but they so used to it and they don't understand they should done their jobs. If they forwarded a lot of their work to you, they wouldn't understand why you shouldn't do this job. So they get used to it so much. So then you need to explain to them why you shouldn't do their jobs. It's a very serious issue because here is the line above which one you would feel yourself uncomfortable at some time. These people would forward all jobs and they forward new job for you and new work, and you have your own job and work, and it would be like huge mess for you. Another example for developers. For example, the company hired new junior developer and he didn't know a lot about programming. And imagine that you have like 5-year senior developer who working on this project and company assigns this junior developer to you. And you're like senior developer on this project. And this developer start pushing you with his task. For example, there is simple task and he just wanted your opinion on it. He just always share with you some details and ask what I could do to do this task done. Imagine the tasks are perfectly described, there are all information that needs to be done. But the hard skills of this junior developer are not enough to do this task. And you started to sync up with this guy, start checking task details, dive deep into the task, understand edge cases for this task and doing his job, while he's just sitting on call and you do everything for him. It's common practice because sometimes it's better to do it by yourself than explain it to other people. If it happened once, everything would be okay, but if it would happen regularly, He will get used that you do his work. He would regularly ping you and say how to do this, I couldn't handle it by myself, blah blah blah, help me. There are a lot of solutions of it and we will discuss them in future videos. What you need to understand here, when you start grabbing other people's responsibilities, they start and get used to it. So when you stop these responsibilities, they start to feel themselves confused. They could even argue with you because you stop doing their responsibilities. Also remember, there is quite border when you have your own responsibilities. You could help some people, but they could get used to it so hard, so you would do every work for them. So there is a line. For example, in example with manager, you could help him, but also you could suggest to dive deep into some technical details, how your project works, and in some technical videos that would be understandable for him, because he needs to do his work. If he doesn't understand something, he should learn it by himself. Because in the work, when you come in to do work, you need to have a setup of some hard skills. And you should have basement, some more levels, advanced level, and dive deep level. With example with junior developer, you could also share with him some resources where he could improve his hard skills. For example, if you see that he regularly pushes you with some tasks, maybe it's not all of tasks, maybe it's some type of task. For example, create a web page, create a backend server, create some specific instruction on backend server. You should give him video and resource how to do this. In the best case scenario, you could offer him to grab some courses on it to improve his hard skills, because he's starting to rely on yourself and you also got some tasks. And when you're developing other people's tasks, you're not completing your tasks. You started to feel that people use you. It's very bad for your mental health. In my mentorship and my private group, I give information how to avoid this. If this topic resonates to you, check the link in description or in comments. Imagine also how other people feel when you're starting to make these things. Imagine that you're a developer that come in and there is some designer who asks some tips and you started to make their work. You started to grab a design tool, you started to go to Figma, draw set designs, change UI, UX. Other people would also not feel better about it. When you get hired to some job, you have a responsibility, so it's your core responsibilities, and everything outside these responsibilities should be covered with boundaries. If you starting to answer yes to each responsibility that somebody wants put to you, it would finish for you badly. I know personal examples of these guys. On the work they're laughing and they're very productive person, but after work it's completely different person. These people feeling themselves empty, have depression and feeling sad after work because they was squeezed like a lemon on work. This topic is so important because when you start in a new job, when you're a newbie, you're like interested to everything and you have not a lot of experience with this stuff. And you say yes to everybody. But work and life would show you that you need to understand your core responsibilities. So on each job, you should understand core responsibilities of you. It also depends on job where you're working. For example, you work in a startup, you could do everything. And it's okay. But it's okay if you discussed and you agreed to this. If you discuss and agree to role of DevOps engineer, it would be strange to make front-end, back-end, mobile parts. When you come into this job, you knew that you would do this stuff and it doesn't bother you, so it's totally okay to make a lot of stuff at one time. But most of all, you hired to have one core responsibility and cover it. When you started to grab other people's responsibilities, you also stop doing your own responsibilities, you also start grabbing other people, and they also doesn't feel very healthy about this. Imagine that you're coming as developer and some designers start to develop front-end part and back-end part that you're responsible in. How would you feel? If it resonates you and you got such experience, write in comments what responsibilities you was taken as developer on your job. This was second important topic in developer burnout that I wanted to share with you today. If you're already struggling or starting feeling emotional burnout as a developer, check the link in the description to solve your problem. Have a wonderful day and bye.